I'm your host, Brandon Scoop B. Robinson, joined by Sports Illustrated senior producer, Dakota London. Dakota, what's up?
How you feeling, man? What's going on?
Thank you, thank you. Working my tail off, man. Um, you posted something on social media a while ago, just discussing branding, discussing all of the things that you have been instrumental in doing. And I thought that was pretty inspiring. Why
Mm.
is it important for talent to not only have a body of work within the organization they work with, but also to have a pretty strong personal brand when they're not on the job?
Well, I think they're kind of tied in together. I think one aids the other. My personal belief is if you have your own personal brand before, or not even necessarily before, but you have your own personal brand and you can use it to complement your brand at a workplace, like whether it's SI, Bleacher Report, stuff, the multitude of examples that it only aids you. If you have your own personal brand, you have your own following, and you have people that are checking for you, regardless of whatever company you're tied into. I think I've seen a lot of instances in the industry where people think just because they're connected to a certain brand or a certain company, that therefore the following will come. And I'm like, no, if you have that following on your own, that will always be much stronger. And I think it's way more authentic that way. I feel like you're not chasing, you're just being yourself. So I think if you can build your personal brand, be authentic, be yourself, whatever variation of that is, however you define it, and then able to connect that and marry that to whatever your brand is at a corporation, it's way more palatable.
Tell me some of the shows that you've had success with at SI, and what were some of the things that you did in aiding the success of that programming?
Yes. The immediate one is Laces Out, which was hosted by my homie, actually Nicole Moss, and myself, and Jarrell Harris. Um, It was great. It was really a show that was just initially based around sneaker culture, which was a lane or niche that SI was not really familiar with. But understanding that there was a large population of people who were sneakerheads, a very young audience, an audience that, in my mind, and just looking at the data and having conversations with people in leadership, was a niche we weren't hitting, a lane we weren't hitting. And I was like, oh, well, maybe this is a way that we could, try to branch out and get a younger audience. It started off based in sneakers, and then it just kind of evolved to more of a pop culture, music, entertainment, sports, just kind of barbershop talk. In addition to the sneaker culture, and it was great, and it was a blast, and it had a lot of success, and we got an NBA sponsorship, which was great. We had saw record views and engagement on YouTube, social media. My role in that show initially was just the showrunner, so handling all the logistics, all the preparation for Ashley and Jarrell when it was just the two of them on camera. Then I later got added just to add a different element on camera. But yeah, I was at the forefront of everything. When we travel, where we ate, booking guests, anything that happened with that show, I was involved with it. The final edits got taken out of the edits. Um, and then once I became on a talent, in addition to that, my responsibilities didn't change. It actually kind of helped me to see the show in a different format, being on camera as well. But yeah, that was great. I love being at the forefront of it. I love the fact that I felt like I was always walking on eggshells. Every day was different from the day before. It was really just kind of constant troubleshooting. And as a producer, is nothing better.
IUPUI's own Dakota London joins us. What was your favorite time of the year in producing? Was it more when you had that overlay between World Series, the beginning of basketball season, and being in the midst of football, or was it more Final Four and that March Madness time?
I would say Probably early start of NBA season, because by the time the NBA season started, the regular season in NFL was not mid-season, but it was in full swing. And here at SI, the NFL, NBA were always our top two sports. Personally, those are my two favorite sports. So having both of those operating was great. You had the excitement of the NBA season, and then the NFL season was already going. So it was always fun during those times.
I believe it. I believe it. Philly, the greater Philadelphia area is home for you. When you look at Philadelphia 76ers basketball, who is on your Mount Rushmore?
Ooh, let's see. AI. Embiid has to be on that list at this point. Moses would have to be on that list.
That's three. You got one more.
Dr. J?
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to either go Dr. J or Charles Barkley.
Charles is weird. Like, I feel like, although he was here, his career was way more defined with his time with the Jazz.
You mean the Suns?
I'm sorry. Yes, with the Suns, than it was with him in Philly. Like, I know he loves Philly, but even now he talks about the Suns being his team. So I don't think I could put him on that list. But yeah, I put Dr. J, Moses, AI's obviously at the top, and then Embiid's in there.
Philadelphia Eagles, same question. Who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Ooh, okay. The Eagles is, to me, even harder, but Brian Dawkins is on that list. Jason Kelsey is on that list. Lane Johnson has to be on that list. I think probably McNabb.
I was hoping you'd say Donovan McNabb.
Yeah. If I'm really talking about like Philly history, like true like Philly fans, like how do you not say Chuck McNair, even though Chuck McNair played in the 60s? Or like not saying Mike Quigg or Harold Carmichael, but for what I witnessed, Doc to me is definitely one. Kelsey's definitely two. McNabb is four, but it's a hesitant number four. And then yeah, I probably put Lane three.
But my question to you is, A, was this before your time, or B, do you look at him as a member of of his later team in Reggie White? Do you look at him more as a Packer than you do an Eagle?
I think because Reggie he finally won a championship with the Packers, then historically I would put him with the Packers, but no, I'm gonna make some edits to that. Take McNabb out. I'll put Reggie White on my list because Reggie still had 100 sacks as a Philadelphia Eagle. So it's like Reggie was come on, it's Reggie.
Yeah, and I think even the McNabb conversation is difficult because I feel like towards the end of his career, Philly turned on him. It was during that transition from Kevin Kolb and or Michael Vick that I think perception or the things that Terrell Owens may have felt or said about him, people began to believe that those were fact.
I would say there was a lot of smoke when it came to Donovan to not believe there wasn't some fire there.
Sure.
I think even aside from his beef with T.O., I don't like how that situation was handled on both sides, but
I hated it.
They both were at fault there. Like there's no version of that where T.O. is fully to blame in that. T.O. wanted his new contract. He talked to Donovan about it. Donovan said he doesn't get involved with that, but Donovan got involved when Brian Westbrook was trying to get his new contract. So it's like you've already set the precedent that you will get involved. I don't think Donovan loved that T.O. had become so beloved in the city. I think Donovan was extremely sensitive. And then if we're talking about him on the field, as great as Donovan was, Donovan had several moments where he came up short. That 0-3 loss to the Panthers in the NFC Championship game, he played like crap. If he has a C- game in the 0-4 Super Bowl against the Patriots, they win that game. So it's like, I get why the fan base does not embrace him the way they might embrace Brian Dawkins. I get why the fan base might not embrace him the way they embrace T.O. because T.O. played on a broken leg, which is him going out there and playing when he probably shouldn't have. just epitomized the city. And I don't think Donovan's personality at any point ever epitomized Philadelphia. I think Dom did a lot of great here, but if I'm being real, I think when it's all said and done, Jalen will be a far more beloved quarterback in Philly than Donovan ever was.
Ooh, okay. Yep. 4th and 26.
Freddie Mitchell.
McNabb to Freddie Mitchell. Freddie Mitchell definitely is beloved to this day by the city of brotherly love.
He probably still don't got paid for no beer.
Freddie Mitchell, 4th and 26 for Philly was what Larry Johnson's 4-point play was for New York.
I can see that.
Because even though they never won a championship in those respective cities, they're still liked. They can still get a free meal, and they don't got to walk around with security because they're men amongst the people.
Yeah. Freddie can still pull up in the city. It's weird, and I could be wrong about this. Excuse me, but I don't know if Freddie still does anything with the organization or what his relationship is with the organization. I know a lot of people who were there when he was here are no longer here. Joe Banner, who was the GM at the time, is definitely gone, but Jeffrey Lurie's still there. He's still the owner. So I don't know if he still has a relationship with the team, but yeah, I mean, Freddie was always Freddie. He was never great. He was a solid receiver, and he made a memorable play.
To me, Brian Westbrook.
It's my guy. Seabiscuit, yes.
Villanova's own.
Very own.
Brian Westbrook, to me, was prototypical for today's running back.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree. He was definitely, I wouldn't say he's ahead of his time for this. He wasn't the only back that could do what he does, do what he did. But for what that offense would need now, oh my gosh, he'd be perfect. He'd be great.
I feel like he was the precursor for the era of Saquon Barkley's and Ezekiel Elliott's. As far as running backs that can catch in the flat, can block well, can run, and doesn't hurt you. If it was basketball, there would be a ton of pluses, no minuses in the plus minus department.
Yeah, no, Westbrook was great. He checked all the boxes. He was a 3-down back. He wasn't big. He was only about 5'8", maybe 205. So they never used him as a workhorse. But for what they needed him to be in that offense, especially when in 04, 05 when T.O. was there, it was perfect. When they had the three-headed monster with him, Deuce, and Carell Buckhalter, you could see that he was, of the three of them, the most talented, and it was only a matter of time before he'd be the go-to guy. But yeah, and Westbrook's still beloved. And Westbrook, unlike Freddie Mitchell, is a guy who's still very much involved with the team. Still, I mean, he's on the media side now, but definitely does a lot covering the team.
And he was on the main line at Villanova, so he was already embedded into Philadelphia area. Yeah. So he had a head start.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, we love this here. Of course. Basketball, football, production, all the above. Brother, the good news is you're off the hot seat.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
My man, thank you.